Well, a very good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy day to join us. I know you're going to get a lot out of this webinar. We have a very special presentation for you today. Our host is Travel Weekly, and the presentation is all about CruiseWorld 2018 and why you need Travel Weekly's CruiseWorld 2018. We have several wonderful speakers for you today to tell you all about this fantastic event. First up will be Mary Pat Sullivan, CTC, President of Sullivan Marketing Advisors. Mary Pat will introduce the other speakers on today's panel. Before we get started, a reminder that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. When the speakers are finished with the presentation, we'll get to as many questions as we can. Also, a reminder that 10 of our travel agent attendees will win a free registration to CruiseWorld 2018. How fantastic is that? It's a $250 value for each registration, so you're going to want to stick around to the end of the webinar to get more information about that. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mary Pat Sullivan so she can get started. I'll be back a little bit later to ask our panel your questions. Welcome, Mary Pat.
Thanks, Sandy. I'm always happy to be here. And actually, folks, this is like home for us, for the team at CruiseWorld, because when we launched this event several years ago, Joni and Tom and the team were a big part of that launch for us. And many of you may have been with us at the first event we did. We're so happy to be partners with this organization, and I know there's some great people in the audience today, so we're so happy to have you with us. Hopefully by the time I'm done, you're all going to know that you need to be at CruiseWorld with us this year. I'd love to see you in person. So these are the basics here. It's November 7th to the 9th. The Exhibitor Showcase is a one-day showcase, and it's on November 8th. We're at the Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is our team, and we have quite a team. I guarantee you that if you come and join us at CruiseWorld, you'll meet each and every one of these folks. On the line with me today is Teresa Bednarczyk, who's our event director for Northstar Travel Group, and Jennifer Cruz, who is the associate director, trade recruitment and engagement for Travel Weekly, and works really, really hard on this event. So the rest of our team, great group of people. You'll experience all of them if you join us at CruiseWorld. You see Joni right there, lower center. Joni's been a part of our team since the beginning, and I know she's very important to the travel professional community, but she's equally important to us. So also with us today, we have two special guest speakers. Two of your peers have joined us today, and two really good friends of mine, personal friends of mine and friends of the CruiseWorld event as well. Jill Labar, who's the owner of Jill's Great Escapes in Florida, and Jeff Millar, who's the owner of Ultimate All-Inclusive Travel in Arizona. Both of them are presenters at this year's event. We have a peer day that we'll talk about a bit later, and both of them will be presenting their own sessions on Friday, the 9th, but I wanted each of them to just jump in now and just kind of give you a quick feel for why CruiseWorld was valuable for them. And Jill and I met at CruiseWorld several years ago, but I'm going to ask Jill to go first. And Jill, just share with the audience why you think CruiseWorld was valuable for your business.
Sure. Hi, Mary Pat, and hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm so excited to be able to talk with you about CruiseWorld. When I started in this business only 6 years ago, CruiseWorld was my first industry event that I attended, and the warmth, friendliness, and best organized conference I've ever attended, and this continues every year, outside of GTM, but that's a whole nother ballgame. CruiseWorld is by far my favorite conference of the year. The amount of education that we get, not only from the suppliers, but from the peers and the networking and the close-knit camaraderie that is at this event is just outside of any other event that I attend. One of my favorite things is the general sessions, because we have top industry representatives, the top executives from the cruise lines. You have presidents and vice presidents who are coming and sharing with us insights in the business, why they got into the business, what they're passionate about, and they're truly inspiring. And then when we have the peer sessions and we get to learn so much from our colleagues, I have found that to be so beneficial, and part of why I wanted to give back and am happy to share and speak this year at the event. So if I attend any event throughout the year, CruiseWorld is by far my favorite.
Thanks, Jill. And I love hearing you tell that story because I met you during a general session 2 or 3 cruise worlds in for you, but you're now being a part of our team and a peer trainer yourself and have built a great business. So we love that you're giving back, and we thank you for that. And now I'm going to go to Jeff, who Jeff actually started as one of our very first peer speakers. When we built this event, Jeff was one of the first people we brought on, and I met through Joni. And Jeff is a phenomenal partner of ours and has been teaching at Cruise World, but he's also a fellow travel agency owner since we started. So Jeff, I know it's going to be hard for you to narrow it down, but give us a little bit of a feel for why you think Cruise World is valuable.
Hi, everybody. Pleased to be here. And as Mary Pat says, I've been involved with Cruise World since the beginning, and for some reason, they keep inviting me back every year. So what I really want to cover 2 points is, first of all, I get a lot of calls from agents that say, why should I attend Cruise World? Because it's Cruise World and we don't sell cruises. I just want to say that there's a lot more at Cruise World than just cruises. There are a lot of land suppliers, air suppliers, all types of suppliers. And the other thing that I want to touch on that I think is very important with Cruise World is the networking you can do. As Jill mentioned, you can network with presidents of cruise lines, you can network with senior management for land vacations, and best of all, you can network with over 1,000 agents that attend Cruise World every year. And you can exchange ideas. There have been lifelong friendships that have been developed at Cruise World, and it can't be held in a better place than Fort Lauderdale. If nothing else, just go outside, and it's held at the end of the yacht show. So there are always 3 or 4 huge yachts that are anchored outside. So go out and take a look at that. But I think, as far as I'm concerned, and I've attended just about every event that there is for travel agents, and I consider Cruise World the top event, not only because of the depth and the breadth of what you will learn and what you'll hear there, but the opportunity, again, to network with everybody from the CEOs and presidents of cruise lines all the way down to agents that are just beginning their careers. So again, I think it's well worth it. It's a great event. And like I said, I've been involved in it since the beginning, and hopefully will continue for many years, although I probably don't have that many years left to go. But so as a matter of fact, I just read a quote today from Keith Richards. He said, "It's good to be here, but then again, it's good to be anywhere." So
okay,
thank
Jeff,
you.
We're going to be positive. By the way, folks, yesterday was Jeff's birthday, so he's got many years to go. But both Jill and Jeff, the sessions that they're teaching are below their titles there. So we're going to get into depth on their sessions in particular when we get into the Friday portion of the program. But now I'm going to take you through a little of what they both explained. Thank you both for this. Let's take you through some of the basics, and then I'm going to bring them back in a bit later. Dates and locations. So 7th to the 9th is the main event, and then on the 6th, we're really excited this year. We're adding a new element this year thanks to the Travel Corporation, and there is a full half day of training, a 4-hour training program from the Travel Corporation on all of their brands, and that's the Tuesday prior to Cruise World. If you're making your schedule, I recommend you come in time to join us for that as well. The Exhibitor Showcase will have over 150 suppliers there, and as Jeff said, it's every element within the travel industry. It is not just cruise. I'll take you through that as well. The Exhibitor Showcase is on the 8th, and we have ship inspections on the 10th and the 11th. Folks, if you're planning to come and you want to see some of the newest ships and need to get that visual, that live, stand on the ship, experience the everything that the ship has to offer, our ship inspections do sell out. So I would recommend you take a look at the ship rosters. We're going to go through them today. And if you want to join us and you want to do ship inspections, I recommend that you sign up pretty quickly because the ship inspections do fill up quickly. And we're at the Greater Fort Lauderdale Broward Convention Center. And the official housing block is at both at the Hilton Fort Lauderdale Marina, as Jeff mentioned, lots of the big yachts in the background. It's kind of fun. And at the Renaissance Fort Lauderdale Cruise Port Hotel, both of which are in walking distance to the convention center, but we also have shuttles, so not to worry. As Sandy mentioned at the beginning, we are going to pull 10 webinar attendees to win free registration to Cruise World. We'll do that after the event. Joni's team will get us the full list of everybody that appeared with us live. You can only win if you were here with us live. And we'll email you to let you know if you won, and we'll also post it on all of our social channels so that you can find out if you, in fact, won that $250 value. We'd love to have you at CruiseWorld. Okay, so let's talk about the people. Jill mentioned this, and the caliber of the folks that join us at CruiseWorld, from the supplier side, from the agent side. It's a great experience for you to get to know lots of good folks within our industry. So who attends? Travel advisors, all of you, our speakers and our suppliers. Here's just a little bit of a glimpse of the folks that are with us. We have industry leadership, every CEO, majority of the presidents from the cruise lines, the wholesalers, hoteliers. We're going to go through all the different suppliers. And then among the agents, you're going to have peers that are brand new to the business and peers that are 30 years in the business. Our attendees run the gamut, so you really can learn from each other. The caliber of the folks that join us, it's a great group, and it's well over 1,000 people in total that join us at CruiseWorld. So here's an example of the presidents, and I have to tell you that when these folks take the stage, they come because they want to know you. They know how important all of you are to their business, and what a great testament to you and to your business that they all take the time to be there on stage and talk to all of you. So when you're there, and when you do decide to join us, make sure you let your customers know that you met the president of Holland America Line, that you met the president of Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, MSC, Norwegian Cruise Lines. And this year, for the first time, we're thrilled to have Hurtigruten join us this year. So lots of great opportunities. And then the Mastermind Panel, which we'll talk about all the different days and when these things happen, but these are the folks you know. These are the folks that are on the front lines of the trade and the industry, and they all come, and they love to get up on stage and talk to all of you. And they also love to walk the trade show floor and talk to all of you as well. So you're going to get to meet them in person. They share their marketing and sales ideas with all of you. Great group of people, and this is a panel that Joni and I, Joni Ogg from Travel Professional Community, and I moderate together. It's been a tradition at CruiseWorld since the beginning, and we have so much fun with it. But you'll also learn about what these folks think you can do to increase your cruise sales. Our keynote speakers, we have a CEO speaking each day. So on the first day, it will be Arnold Donald, the CEO of Carnival Corporation. On the second day, it will be Richard Fain, the CEO, Chairman and CEO of Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited. And on the third day, it'll be Frank Del Rio, President and CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings Limited. So, folks, this is like 90% of the cruise inventory that's out in the marketplace. Those CEOs who all spend their time talking to Wall Street are going to be there talking to you. Our educational sessions, we have on Friday, as I mentioned, the peer training. There's Jill and Jeff, beautiful faces up there. This is a sampling of the folks that will be joining you. Each one of these folks that you see here, they are fellow travel professionals who are training you on where they've succeeded. Various different areas of the industry that they've succeeded in. You'll see information on what sessions they're leading, but really good folks and just want to give back to the industry. Here's an additional group, and up on the top there, for those of you in the travel professional community, you can smile and see the Oggs. Both Andy Ogg and Joni Ogg will be joining us as presenters on the peer training day, and both of them great presenters. And in addition, a couple more of the agency folks that you may know. Nicole on the bottom there, we just added Nicole to this year's program, and Nicole is a specialist in family travel for children with special needs. And it's a great new session that we've added. I'm excited to have her join us as a brand new topic we're tackling this year. This is just a little bit to give you an idea. I'm not going to read you these, but on our website, you can see all the testimonials from your colleagues. We have people who this reignited their business. They may have been in the business 20 years, but they just needed that kick, that motivation. And then we have people who it's brand new. And you have this agent here. Before I attended CruiseWorld, my cruise sales were $63,000. Already, they're over $95,000. That's what we like to hear. People who are doubling and tripling their business because they made the right contact. And then they learn from all of you too. That's where their experience grows, is from learning from each other and learning from our speakers. So it's about, like Jeff said, relationships that you can create. I love when somebody says their sales are up over 300% thanks to coming to CruiseWorld. That makes me happy, folks. So let's talk about the products. What kind of products can you take back to your clients? As Jeff pointed out, it is not all cruise. We're thrilled with the cruise lines. Trust me, we're great partners with the cruise lines. We know you all sell cruises, but you don't sell cruises all the time. You sell other things. So we have the airlines, attractions, business tools. You may need a website. You may need other tools and products, CRMs, things for your business. We have cruise destinations, multitude of destinations. That has grown for us this year as you'll look on our roster. Multitude of hotels and resort companies, vacation package organizations, professional services, tour operators, and transportation. Folks, we have car rental and airline suppliers that are sponsors this year. They want your business. They know how important you are. So here's our roster of sponsors at the moment. This will continue to grow. Great partners to all of us. We could not make an event happen without good partners, and they all want your business, and we're thrilled to be able to make the connection to all of you. Let's talk about the education. This is near and dear to my heart, folks, because this is what I do. I am working on the education program, and it's something I've done since the beginning of this event. So I know it pretty well, I hope. So what I do each year is I go out and, as Jen Cruzy may mention, at least in passing towards the end here, we have a STAR program. It's already sold out for this year, but we're going to at least explain it to you. And every year when we have our STAR program built, I go in and I ask, what sessions do you need? What kind of training do you need? So I know how to kind of update our training each year. And I ask the question, and I get tons and tons of answers. And so, folks, what I do with that is I take those needs and I work them into our training program. I make sure that we're addressing the needs of our colleagues. What is it that you need to learn about? So a lot of our sessions that you'll see this year came from your peers that recommended these sessions. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have a brand new session this year on November 6th. These are the brands within the Travel Corporation portfolio. All of those brands will be represented on that Tuesday afternoon training session. Guy Young, who is a leader within the Travel Corporation organization, will launch this event, and then he will bring in his colleagues from the various brands. In addition to classroom-style training, we're also going to have some round tables in the back where after the classroom-style training, you can go and have individual conversations with the brand leaders, and then there'll be a little social time as well. It's going to be a great opportunity. We're so thrilled to have them this year. Then we go to Wednesday. Here's what Wednesday looks like, folks. We have jam-packed days, but we do that for a reason. We're trying to respect your need for training and your need to keep your business running at the same time. So on Wednesday, we have a lot of certification options for all of you. We have 2 different CLIA training classes. We have concurrent educational sessions. I'll take you through those in a moment. Lunch, a general session starts on, and as Jill pointed out, the general sessions where you get to see all of the different industry executives and they talk about their needs and their business opportunities with you. We have a destination showcase in the afternoon and the think tank, which is a lot of fun and something else that I get to do with Joni every year. So among the training programs that are specialist certification programs that you can take advantage of on Wednesday, HBCB, great partner of ours, and Robin Bass on her team come out and do the full, you earn your Hawaii destination specialist certification at CruiseWorld, which is a great opportunity. You can also earn 30 CLIA credits. We have 2 different classes available. We have a longer class and a smaller class, both of these classes available on Wednesday, so you can earn CLIA certification credits, and you can also earn CLIA certification credits from the ship inspection as well. VAX, a longtime partner of ours, and this year, the parent company of VAX, Tricep Solutions, is an extensive partner of ours and going to bring more technology to this year's event. We're excited about that. So you'll have some VAX vacation access training on Wednesday. Also very important, folks, because as you all probably know very well, big merger there between the Mark Travel Corporation and Apple, and so by then, you'll be able to get some training on all the brands within the portfolio that will be available through VAX. So great opportunity there. Special Needs Group certification. We have been partners with this organization as well for several years, and you can earn your certification to offer special needs opportunities for your customers on the various cruise lines that are partners with the Special Needs Group. This is a great training program, and we're thrilled to have helped them top 5,000 trained agents so far through CruiseWorld. The Travel Institute, also a partner of ours, they're offering a brand new class this year at CruiseWorld, the Golden Rules of Netiquette. And the concept behind this is how to keep your business professional when you're communicating with your customers on apps, on email, through social media. You still want to remain professional. So it's a brand new class they're launching at CruiseWorld, and we're thrilled to have them with us also on Wednesday. And the Family Travel Association joining us this year as a good partner of ours, and Sally Black, who is a peer to all of you, is also on the board of the Family Travel Association. And on Wednesday, she'll be offering kind of a primer on their certification program. It's a very lengthy program. It takes about 7 hours, I believe, to complete. But Sally will give you the kind of the primer on what it includes, and so that if you're a family travel specialist, great opportunity through the Family Travel Association. Then we get to lunch. We're only at lunch on Wednesday so far. Holland America is our sponsor, our opening sponsor for the lunch on Wednesday. Orlando Ashford, who is the president of Holland America, if you've never seen him speak, it is such a treat. He will be opening our event at lunch on Wednesday. Our general session on Wednesday is sponsored by Carnival, and we're thrilled to have them with us. And last year, yes, you can see it there, Arnold Donald, the CEO of Carnival, opened his shirt to show his Travel Agents Rock tattoo. It was a pretty funny moment on our general session stage. Arnold Donald will be joining us to speak on Wednesday afternoon, followed by the Mastermind Panel I mentioned earlier, and we will launch TW Talks. They're 8-minute kind of thought-provoking sessions from the travel agency host community leadership. And we'll also be introducing TW Tech Talks. That's sponsored this year by Tricept. As I mentioned, Tricept is a new partner. So we're going to have them with us on the general session every day. This is your group for the Mastermind Sales and Marketing Panel. Folks, if you decide to come to this event and you have questions you want me to bring to these folks, you can email me, send me some questions, some ideas, some questions you've been dying to ask them. They're so open. This is a great, lively, energetic session, and it's a way to kick off your 3-day event. As I mentioned, Tricept is sponsoring our Tech Talks this year. John Ishii, who's the president of Tricept, probably one of the smartest minds in technology in our business today. And so John will be bringing different speakers to the stage Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to address topics that are really important to all of you as technology continues to change. So we'll have some great advice for you in the tech world throughout the 3 days of CruiseWorld. Our destination showcase, we're focusing on 4 different areas of the world. These will be panel discussions. We'll have each of the destinations, we'll have 4 or 5 different suppliers within those destinations get up and kind of give you an overview of what's new in their area of that destination, and then there'll be time for Q&A. So you can only do one because these are simultaneous, but you can decide what might be the most important to you. This is followed by the Think Tank. Our Think Tank is sponsored by Scenic, and this is a great event. It's at the end of the day, and it's a lot of fun. It's a chance for you to share with your peers some of your tools and tips and tricks. In this particular case, we're going to be talking about kind of growing from selling ocean cruising to selling river cruising and all the opportunities that are available through the Scenic portfolio, but not just about Scenic. It's talking about your sales techniques, what works for you. And we kind of go around the room and get all of our peers to discuss things. It's a very lively, fun event. Have a cocktail, kick back, and learn from your colleagues. We're at Thursday. On Thursday, this is just your schedule at a glance. I'm going to go through it in detail. We begin the day with breakfast with MSC Cruises, and we end the day with a great reception on the trade show floor with the Greater Fort Lauderdale CDD. So breakfast, as I said, MSC Cruises sponsors our breakfast. Last year it was so cool. They had the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders surprise us, and it was a lot of fun and great learning. They had just kicked off the Seaside, and the Seaside is going to be there this year in town when we're in town. It's an opportunity for you to do a ship inspection on the Seaside this year as well. Our supplier training, and this is one of the things that I know Jeff has been a fan of CruiseWorld for a long time. We separate out our supplier training from our peer training so that you know on this day, on Thursday, you're going to be hearing from the actual suppliers. This is when they're kind of doing product presentations. They're giving you deep dives into their products. That's very different from your peer training where it's not sponsored and it's not about a specific product, but more about sales and marketing. So this is our supplier workshop. There's 1 spot open. 7 of the 8 workshops are sold, so there'll be 1 added to this roster. There's 4 in each bank, so you can choose 2 supplier workshops. Then our general session. Last year we had Greece, the cats from Greece surprised our audience on the general session stage, thanks to Royal Caribbean, which was fabulous. And also in that general session, Celebrity and the Celebrity team introduced the Edge and the Galapagos programs, and it was just a phenomenal general session. So this will be our general session on Thursday. And then we move to the Exhibitor Showcase. And as I mentioned, look, Hertz is with us. They know how important your business is. Hertz is our sponsor for the Exhibitor Showcase. They help us cut the ribbon and open doors to the very bustling Exhibitor Showcase with over 150 different suppliers. And at the end of the session, the Fort Lauderdale CVB, great partners of ours, and they offer some cocktails and some appetizers so that you can keep shopping on the trade show floor, but you can relax and end your day with all of us there on the trade show floor. This is the breakdown of our suppliers, folks. So as Jeff pointed out, it is not just cruise. If you look at this, cruise is 21% of our supplier inventory on the Exhibitor Showcase floor, but everybody's there. Look at that, 16% destinations out. This is last year. This will adjust a little bit this year, and I think you're going to see areas like destinations, attractions, and hotels grow this year. So it's even more diverse than in the past. And then, as I mentioned, now we get to Friday. Here's your schedule at a glance for Friday, and I'll take you through all of it. We start with our brand new sponsor, Herta Gluten, and we're going to have breakfast sponsored by them, and we close with concurrent workshops, and then a really cool sponsored workshop by a good friend of ours,
The website one's going to be very unique, as we're not going to delve into technical details. So don't think that you're coming in there learning all the technical details about websites. What we're going to talk about is how to use a website. What are the key things you need to do when you're building a website? Why do you need a website? What does it cost to develop a website? And how do you showcase your website to the public? So we're going to talk about the practical uses of a website, not necessarily the details of a website, and how you can incorporate that website into your overall marketing plan.
And Jeff, just because I want people to understand, you know, your business is run online. I mean, even though you're not an OTA, but your website is critically important to your business, right?
It is. Our website, we have a marketing plan where we have multiple websites. We use websites as the engine that drives our business, and all our other marketing efforts basically drive traffic to the website. The website does what I call the heavy lifting, qualifies the client, and entices them to call us to take things further. But we use a website as the core of our business. So I'm going to show you that, but I'm also going to show you multiple other ways that websites can be used and why everybody should have a website. We're going to discuss that.
Okay, and your second session this year, Jeff, and I'm trying to get to that.
Second session was developed a couple of years ago, and Mary Pat asked me to do it, is bringing on independent contractors to your agency. What are the legal aspects of that? What are the practical aspects? Why you should bring on ICs, or why you shouldn't bring on ICs? And we're going to go through that from a legal perspective on what you need to do with independent contractors. We're going to look at what are the reasons that you would bring on independent contractors, and we're going to discuss, one section is discussing contracts and what should be in that contract, and why everybody should have a contract with each independent contractor. So we're going to look at independent contractors from a legal and a practical perspective for your agency.
You know, and I think, Jeff, it's so interesting because a couple of years ago you did that, but now, and for everybody to know, I'm also an analyst for the Focusrite team, and I worked on the travel agency landscape study, which we're about to release this year. And we interviewed over 1,500 travel advisors like yourselves on the line, and so many people who may have been an independent contractor themselves now have ICs underneath them, and they're needing to learn what to do. And so I think that this session was so important to bring back this year, so I really appreciate you doing it, Jeff, and I think it's going to be very valuable to our audience. So,
and this one's gonna be updated from the last one because there's some new things that have come up on the horizon that states like California are doing that is going to greatly affect, if they go through with these states, it's going to greatly affect how you work with independent contractors and how you set up your business with independent contractors. So we've taken the original one and I've updated to include these new things that are on the horizon.
Great. And now Jill, we've added Jill this year. I wanted Jill last year and she couldn't get there. She was out of the country, I believe. So I made sure that she couldn't travel anywhere this year during Cruise World. But Jill is actually bringing how to make the phone ring, and she's bringing some of her peers into this session with her. So Jill, I love this session. Maybe you can explain to the audience what your idea behind it is.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that. But I have to give a shout out to Jeff first, because a couple of years ago, I attended that session that you just talked about with ICs, and I did walk away with quite a few helpful hints in helping me set up contracts for bringing on ICs. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciated your session. And I was out of the country, Mary Pat. I was attending an ASTA event in China. So this travel industry that I joined only 6 years ago has taken me many, many places, and it's been exciting. But with our session that we're going to have really was inspired because when we talk about our business and we'll talk about suppliers, and we know what to do once we get the business, but it comes down, then we talk about how do we get the business? What do we do to make that phone ring? And so there's no right way or wrong way, but there are many different ways that you can get yourself going in the industry, whether you're new to the business or you need inspiration on how to get new clients. So we started talking about this, and Mary Pat and I were talking about how I built my business, which was all through social media marketing. And I didn't want to do just a panel discussion on social media marketing. So I've recruited 3 of my colleagues who are all $1 million plus agents who have built their businesses in very different ways. So all 4 of us are going to be giving you some insights as to what has worked for us, and maybe you'll be able to walk away with some tips that you'll be able to implement in your day-to-day practice. For me, it's social media marketing. For one of my colleagues, it's how they got themselves deeply involved in their community. Another one on how she used her business contacts. And another one through philanthropic aspirations. So there are so many different ways that you can develop business. And by having us talk about these various methods, you're sure to walk away with something that will help you make your phone ring.
You know, and I think, Jill, you and I brainstormed about this a lot, and I think it's so interesting because today there is no one business model for a travel agency anymore. There just isn't. Everything is different, and that's why I really feel this is important. And all of these peer sessions are important because you may hear one tidbit that changes your whole business direction, and that's what we're hoping for. Not that you need to change it, but that you find the inspiration. So, Jill, I really appreciate you putting your colleagues together. And folks, when you go on the website, you can see the full roster of Jill's session, and it's going to be a great opportunity. So they're competing, by the way, and their sessions are against each other in the afternoon. So we'll have to see which one everybody chose.
One of the things that's so fascinating about our travel industry in general is how much has changed over the last 10 years. And there is more and more of us are independent contractors, and we're sitting at home with no true guidance. And that's why a conference like CruiseWorld is so important, because we get inspiration and best practices from colleagues and peers. We're hearing from the suppliers on what's important in their business so that we can help promote it and really look at how we can promote ourselves. So it's just such a fantastic conference, and I hope you all plan on attending it.
And by the way, I have not paid Jill. We don't pay Jill or Jeff. They do this.
One other thing I want to mention is, and I've said this since the beginning, is what I really like about these peer-to-peer things. we are putting on sessions and we are not using them as a platform to sell anything. They're purely educational sessions. They're there to help you from a marketing, a business perspective, but aren't platforms that are there to sell you anything. We're just exchanging ideas. They're very interactive. You can bring up ideas. We always leave a part of the session at the end for questions and answers. So that's what I really love from this is we can teach something and we're not selling anything.
Yeah, and I was trying to say that before, and you say it much more eloquently than I do, but that's the reality of it, is, folks, there will be we love our supplier partners, and all day Thursday is shopping with your suppliers and learning from your suppliers, but this day Friday is for all of you to share with each other, and there won't be suppliers up there marketing to you in these sessions. They will all be purely your colleagues, which is great. So now I want to back up here because I wanted to get to their sessions as well. So lunch that day is sponsored by Norwegian Cruise Line, great partner of ours. And many, many years, Andy gets up on stage and gives a speech, or Camille. And for them, it's not a speech, folks. It's very entertaining, always entertaining. And they have a lot of new products. And so we're always looking forward to what the team from NCL will share with us. So we look forward to that. And then our closing general session on Friday, we have the TW Tech Talks, which I had mentioned earlier. And we'll have some other content that we're still kind of solidifying. I like to leave a few things open because things change in the industry from day to day. But our very, very last speaker on Friday in the general session will be Jen Lee from Travel Planners International. And she's developed this really cool session. And it's going to be motivational. It's going to be a game show. There's going to be chances to win some really, really cool prizes. But I promise you're going to feel so good when you leave. Our goal is to end that closing general session with everybody really pumped and motivated. And the last part of the afternoon, we have our closing bank where you guys can decide if you like Jeff or Jill better. No, but you go to the one that makes the most sense. There's 4 sessions after the closing general session for you to choose from. And then at the very end, and Jeff and Lou know each other well because Captain Lou and Jeff took the stage together at our very first CruiseWorld. They were both part of our, and it's funny, I heard Jill say all of her agents that are on her panel are $1 million plus agents. Our very first CruiseWorld, we did a panel, and the panel was, I'm $1 million agent. And Jeff and Lou were both on that panel, and that's how we got to know them. And Lou has since then developed his own training program. So this is a sponsored session. He's going to tell you something. So you can go if you want to go, but it's a brilliant group training program, and I think Jeff can attest, Lou is a great presenter. He's fun to watch. So he closes things out for us.
Lou and I had drinks till 2 in the morning discussing and solving all the world's problems. So
see that? You can do that too at CruiseWorld. You can drink till 2 in the morning as long as you show up for breakfast the next day. So just to wrap up what happens at CruiseWorld, the ship inspections are Saturday and Sunday. And it's all dependent on what ships are in port, folks. So luckily, we have a great roster of ships in port on Saturday and Sunday. Some of our inspections are in Fort Lauderdale. Some of them are in Miami. We obviously provide transportation to and from the ship inspections. But all the information is up there on the website for you to take a look. And like I said, we already had to go back and ask for more seats on a couple of the ships because they were filling up. So if it's something you have on your list to do, please sign up. And 10 of you will be lucky enough to win free registration. But for those of you that don't, our early bird registration discount expires on September 28th. And remember, your full conference pass includes all of these elements. So we would love for you to join us. And HBTA and our partners at the travel professional community have their own code to give you $25 off whatever registration rate you qualify for. So if you get in before the 28th, you also get $25 off in addition by using the HBTA code. So we encourage that you do that. And now I know Jen is on the line, and I'm not going to have her go through the whole STAR program because she's so good at it that we're already sold out. But I would like you guys to at least know what this Select Travel Advisor program is. So Jen, maybe just really quickly, can you just let everybody know, we're already sold out, but we'd love them to think about it for next year, what the STAR program is?
Yeah, absolutely, Mary Pat. The STAR program, like I said, we are sold out 6 weeks earlier than we were last year, which is exciting. And last year we were sold out 3 weeks earlier than the year before. So year on year, the program is just growing in popularity, and the interest level has been amazing. We're thrilled. What the program is really a platform for advisors of all levels of experience. We have what we call promising advisors. We have developing advisors and establishing advisors, all of who are in a forward inertia with their business, and the program kind of is designed to give them just a leg up to kind of get to that next level. We select up to 250. We're really closing in on that 250 mark. We close the application because we have so many in the hopper already to reach our maximum. So if you have submitted an application and you have not heard back, we are still working through the process on a few remaining available positions. It's just a great opportunity. The number of, like, I'm blown away every year by the number of people who are referred to the program by people who've attended the event or people who have participated in the program, which is a testament to really the content, because what the STAR program is really just, enhanced CruiseWorld participation and attendance. So, my takeaway from this is just we're sold out so early this year. So kind of put it in the back of your head to apply very, very early next year, because hopefully we'll be in the same position where the popularity of the program is so overwhelming that we just can't fit any more people into the program just because we can't. Just because we can't.
Yeah.
Just because we can't. We do run out of money at some point, unfortunately. But that's the STAR program in a nutshell. It's really CruiseWorld enhanced, just trying to give everybody who's involved just kind of an accelerated approach to kind of growing their business and taking things to the next level.
Yeah, and folks, just so that you understand too, this is a commitment on the part of North Star, which is the parent company for CruiseWorld, for Travel Weekly, for Travel Edge West. We firmly believe that it's our commitment to invest in the future of this profession, because that's what we're invested in as well. So, and to Jen's point, that's why it is a mix of developing promising and experienced agents. And so if you didn't get in this year, maybe that bucket was already filled, but please apply again next year, and please come join us this year. Use the discount codes, register before the September 28th deadline, and it's worth the investment. We know it is, and then maybe next year we can help you with some of your expenses as well. So thanks, Jen, for all the hard work you did on that. We really appreciate it, and we know it's going to be a great group again, as always. So lastly, before we get to Q&A, and I'm sure hopefully, Sandy, we have some questions in the queue, I want to encourage all of you to get connected with us. We are very active on social media. Our attendees are very active on social media. We make sure that the groups are engaged and talking to each other. You're going to have friends before you get to CruiseWorld, from people that are going that you've met on our social pages. So please follow us on our social media. As I said, that's where I get some of my ideas from as well. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Please don't expect me to do the Twitter, because I'm not that good at that, but everything else, I'll be there on your Facebook, I promise, and I'll talk to you there. So as I mentioned, we're going to do the giveaway after the event when we can get the full live attendee database and get back to all of you, and I promise we will do that by tomorrow morning. And so at this point, I'm going to put the team pictures up in case they can jump in and help me, in case Jill and Jeff can help answer questions. And Sandy, let's see what we got.
Okay, thank you. That was fantastic. I also want to point out one thing that I find compelling. I've been to CruiseWorld every year as well, and I think many of the agents on the call today are home-based, where there is an isolation factor when you're doing your everyday work, and the ability to get together and network with other agents and see other faces and what's working for you, in addition to going to all the sessions with the executives, is really invaluable when you're talking about someone who works from home most of the time. So I know I get so much out of that as well, being a home-based agency owner, and I think everyone out there who whether you're home-based or not, you'll get a lot out of it, but particularly for people who are home-based and somewhat isolated in their everyday work. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
We do have several questions. We'll get to as many as we can, and I just want to tell our agents that if we don't get to your question, or if you think of something after the webinar is over, they have cruiseworldshow.com and all the social media. You'll get a lot of your questions answered if you go to the various websites and social media sites. One of our agents is getting nervous. She hasn't signed up yet, and she wants to make sure that there's still room on the ship inspections, because you mentioned, Mary Pat, that they sell out. Are we still seeing some space on the ship inspections?
Yes, we actually went back because we wanted to leave some, beg for some more space, and the cruise lines have been good. But Teresa, maybe you can let us know. I think we're still okay, but we're coming close on a few, right?
Yeah, there are quite a few where we're getting close to the numbers, but we've got availability and we've got a great relationship, as you said. So we've been able to go back when needed to add some additional spaces, but that's only going to go on for so long. So I'd suggest getting registered sooner.
Yeah, and folks, it is important because if you haven't done this through an event in the past, you know, we need to submit the rosters to the cruise lines early in the process because all of you need to be vetted and all of the same requirements that you go through to take a cruise, you have to go through to board the ship. Their customs requirements. So we do close them up relatively early, sometime in October as well. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, please sooner rather than later. But yes, we can get you on the ship, and we do build a wait list as well. So keep that in mind. And thanks. I'm hoping that you get there before we run out of things.
Okay, you heard it here first. One of our agents is asking a question that I think the thrust of it is CruiseWorld appropriate for all levels of agents, including beginners? Are there sessions that will actually teach somebody how to sell?
Yes, we've done we've really worked hard to. It's a challenge when you have every level of the industry in the audience to make sure that we have the right sessions for each of you. But we've actually purposely built different topics, like as for example, Jill's session may be a little bit more advanced for somebody that's brand new, but then Joni is doing a brand new, like I'm brand new to the industry and I need to even know how to set up my home-based business first, or I need to know how to develop a supplier relationship. And so Joni's is a back to basics session, and each of the sessions you'll have a full description on the website and you'll be able to read through them. And what we'll ask you to do, folks, is we'll ask you to pre-register. When you go in, you'll be able to kind of set up your schedule, but we don't hold you completely to that. When you get to the event, if you start talking to a colleague and they say, no, you shouldn't go to that session, you need to go to Jeff's session, and here's why, you can do that. We don't hold you to your session pre-registrations completely. We really do that so that we can set the rooms the right way and make sure we have enough space. If we see that one session is through the roof and everybody wants to be in there, we have to have it in the biggest room. But when you get on site, you'll probably start talking to your colleagues and discover, I really want to go to this session. And that's fine. We'd love to make that happen. This is all about you getting the right training. And also, if you get there and you're not sure which sessions to take, come find me. I'll help you go through the program and we'll work it out together. But yes, there's for every level we have content.
Okay.
And I just like that.
Go ahead,
I was just going to say I would like to add that Mary Pat does a very good job in laying out the descriptions of the sessions so you can kind of get an idea to begin with. Does this fit the beginner agent? Does this fit the intermediate agent? Or is this an advanced course for agents? So if you really read the descriptions of each of the courses, it'll kind of give you a beginning idea of which sessions to look at.
And I went to CruiseWorld my first year. I was only in the business for a couple of months, and it was eye-opening for me. I learned so much. You don't know what you don't know in the beginning. So to go to a conference like this and to be able to network with people, and even at the lunches and the breakfast, you're sitting at tables with strangers, and you start listening to them and talk to them, and you find out information. It is absolutely perfect for newcomers into the industry. But I keep coming back every year because I learn something new every year. So it's whether you're new or veterans of the industry, there's something to inspire you here.
And it's worth it if you walk away from this with one new idea that helps you grow your business, helps you establish your business, start your business, whatever. If you walk away with one good idea, it's worth it 100% to attend CruiseWorld.
I completely agree. I think that's a great point, Jeff. Several of our agents have asked if there is a discount for spouses.
No, we would. Teresa, the answer to that would be no. You'd use the same discount to register, correct? Because if you're going to bring them to the sessions, they need to have a full access badge, right, Teresa?
That's correct. Yes.
I mean, because we really, folks, we have to accommodate space in the rooms. We have to cover the meal costs and all of that, and we're built in a discount already, so we do need to charge per person.
Okay, thank you. Let's take one more question so that you guys can get busy choosing all the winners when we get offline for the free registration. And again, if we didn't get to your question or if you think of something, please do. There's contact information up there right now. Please jot down the phone numbers and email addresses, and everybody at Travel Weekly and Mary Pat will be happy to point you in the right direction. The CLIA Sessions that you discussed that are being offered, are those do those gain certification points for the agents?
Yes. Yes, so each of them, and that again, you'll find the full description on your website. So the longer session, the 90-minute session, earns you more CLIA credits than the shorter 60-minute session. But we also, to the person who asked the question about new versus experienced agents, we purposely picked two different CLIA sessions, both of them brand new to the CLIA portfolio of training, but one seemed more suited to newer agents and one seemed to have a broader appeal to everyone. So, and they're both brand new, so hopefully none of you have taken these sessions already. They're brand new to the CLIA portfolio this year. But yes, you'll earn CLIA certification for both sessions, and you'll also earn credit for your ship inspection as well.
Fantastic. This has been really illuminating and exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at CruiseWorld, and I know you guys will do a great job again. Our host today has been Travel Weekly, and our topic has been why you need Travel Weekly's CruiseWorld 2018. I want to thank all of you. You've all been terrific. Mary Pat, Jen Cruzy, Jill Abar, Teresa Bednarczyk, and Jeff Millar. Thank you so much for doing this wonderful webinar with us.
Thank you to all of you.
Thanks
to the Travel Professional.
Thank you, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody at CruiseWorld.
Likewise, and I want to thank our agents again for taking time out of your day to join us, and hopefully you will all be able to get together with us at CruiseWorld. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.